and welcome. My name is Debbie. I am also known as Nana, and this is Dreamcrafted Creations. And I wanted to go over March happenings and a little bit of the end of February. So at this point, with all these cast-ons, if you've been watching my channel, you know I did the 12 cast-ons of 2026, which I was able to get through in the month of January. However, it became a little overwhelming as to what was going to get done out of these 12 cast-ons, because I like them all and I want to get them all done. So I have been knitting monogamously since February 22nd. I have my notes here, and we'll go over that in a minute. But before I go on, I just want to say that this is a fiber arts, knitting, crocheting, weaving, anything I feel like dabbling in, crafting and show and tell, and hope you're inspired by what I like to do and just chit chat. So if you've been watching, thank you very much. And if you're new here, that's what you'll see. And I hope you stay till the end and subscribe, like, and let's chit chat a little bit. So also, as you know, at the end of the month, I am going to the Swiss Yarn Festival, and I was in hopes that I would get one of the 12 cast-on sweaters done that I could wear there, because, you know, I think they're a little bit ahead of us, someone said, so it'll definitely be spring. So what I was thinking was my Never Too Late sweater, and that's in a cherry blossom knitting for olive. So the last time I came to you, and let me show you how far I've gotten. So a work in progress. Here we are. I am probably have about, starting from the armpit to here, I probably have about a third more to go down here before I get to the ribbing. But the reason I love this, what do you think? I had to pick a sweater, and I had to be monogamous, because out of these 12 cast-ons, if I keep flipping back and forth, I'm never going to get anything done. And I know to have like 12 cast-ons isn't monogamous, but I'm not going to do them all at the same time. There's no way, or I won't get any of these done. I think there's 4 or 5 sweaters in here. But this is also a new Ravelry pattern. Never Too Late by Irina Shah, and I will put the information up here. I will link it below. But this sweater was in the Laney, and I think that's how you pronounce it, magazine. This is the Autumn 2025 edition, and Irina's in my knit group, and I loved this sweater that she put in here, so I was a subscriber to the book anyways, but decided to put that on as one of my 12 cast-ons. And now you can get this on Ravelry. So let me tell you a little bit about the sweater, and I definitely think even a beginner can do this, because in my eyes, if you can knit and if you can purl, you can pretty much knit anything. You just can't be afraid. You can't overthink it. You just need to be able to follow directions. Sure, that's what I tell you now, but I do run into some things sometimes, but really not on this sweater. This sweater was very well written. It has what she calls a jeweled neckline, so it is like a V, but if you looked in the pictures, it kind of spreads out a little bit. It has this beautiful, it's like almost like a braid to me, coming down the middle, and then the detail is just out of this world. And I mean, I wasn't even going to go over all of it because I want to finish it and then be able to talk about it, but it's just amazing. Look at these raglans, and look at these little teeny little cable stitches, and then it starts under the arm. Just the detail in here. So the reason I love knitting this is because it's stockinette, so it goes quickly, but at the same time, you're not bored. You have, you know, these different areas of lace and, you know, raglan and little braided stitches, and it just is beautiful, just as beautiful. And this can't, the movie, the camera can't even show you how beautiful this yarn is. There's like a halo over it. I'm holding together the merino knitting for Olive and the mohair, and it is just beautiful. So monogamously knitting this until it's done. I have to, because if I don't, I won't have it to go away with. And even monogamously knitting this, I'm hoping I'll get it done. So wish me luck on that. I hope I have enough time to get this done. I really want to wear this, and I'm thinking of styling it with jeans or a beautiful floral skirt. I just can't wait to wear that this spring. I think it'll be great. And look, what I'm wearing is my 1 minute till I remember. This is Summer Camp Fibers, and the name of the cowl is the Betty cowl. But look how pretty they go together. And this is perfect for the spring. I cannot wait to wear these two together. I think this will be beautiful. What do you think? I love it. So that is what I'm wearing today, the Betty cowl, and I just have spring on my mind. It's not spring till the 20th of March, but this cowl reminds me of spring, all the bright colors. And it's a little chilly down here, not too bad, but I am in New England, and the weather has been very cold and very dreary. And I think we all need some color in our life after this long winter we've been having. So I have my two colorful sweaters, my cowl, and I hope it brings you a pretty picture today. So that is my whip going on, my monogamous whip, but it didn't stop me from buying some new yarn. And let me tell you, I know I shouldn't be buying yarn, but it's just the nature of the beast when you're a knitter. And I have had this magazine since 2016. This is a Noro magazine. And let me get my glasses, because as you know, if you've been watching me, I can't see. Oh, they're on the ground. Hold on. So this is Noro's 22416, and I remember getting this magazine and loving this pattern in here. And at my local yarn store, the Unruly Stitch, she has a pretty big selection of Noro. And I've been eyeballing it every time I go in there and thinking of this sweater. And so finally, I said to myself, okay, let's get the yarn. Even though you have 12 cast-ons, we're going to add on another one. But it won't be till probably maybe July I can start this. I'm not sure. You can't hold me down to any timelines, because I really want to get a lot of these 12 cast-ons done, but I would love to have this for the fall and winter as well. And let me show it to you. This is a beautiful crocheted jacket. I guess it's a jacket. Let me show it to you. What does she call it? This yarn that it's in, they don't make anymore in Noro. It's a bit more than was when she started. It's just about the designer, but it's a cardigan. And look at this. I fell in love with this 10 years ago. There's the back. And I've always wanted to do a crocheted sweater, and I've always been like, oh, I'm going to do the granny square, you know, because I see these beautiful granny square sweaters. But then I remembered this, and I said, no, I'm not doing the granny square. I want to do this cardigan. I just love it. Let me know what you think of it. But, so they don't have the yarn that it calls for. I believe the yarn, let me tell you what it calls for. It calls for the Teo. It's a cotton, 40% is spun with 30% silk, 15% wool, and 15% nylon. But what I ended up getting in substitute, because that yarn is no longer available, is the Ito. And this is my colorway. See if you can see that. It has beautiful pinks and browns, a little pop of purple. I just love this. I just love this. What do you think as far as that sweater? Do you think it'll look good? So Ito, 100% wool. Okay. Ito means both yarn and young in Japanese. Ito is yarn reborn. This is a number 4, so this is like a worsted weight. And this is 400 meters. I believe, I don't have the exact number with me, but this, one skein of this was like 2 skeins of the Teo. So I'm doing like the size 4. I always do like the size 4. But I am so excited. I know I probably shouldn't be buying any yarn, but I have just loved that pattern. And I said to myself, if I don't buy the yarn, I'm never going to make it, because as you never have the stash, you never have the yarn in your stash for a project you want to make. You always end up having to, well, I do anyways, because I'm not a buy the yarn and then figure it out. I usually have the pattern, then buy the yarn. And that's what went on with a lot of the 12 cast-ons I have back here. And I have several more, but they weren't brought into the 12 cast-ons. They'll have to be for next year. Or if I some miraculously get these done, we'll bring them into the end of the year. But the ones I'd like to bring into the end of the year at this point is this cardigan with the Ito. And then there was one more project. One more. I have a problem. I can't control myself when it comes to things I see on the internet. I said I wouldn't do any more advents because I just think they're a lot of work, it's a lot of time. And this one came across in November, I believe it was, and it was advertised on my Instagram. And it was just a have to have it for me. Let me show it to you. So, Good Tidings Advent by Barrett Wool. This is how it comes with this beautiful tote bag, because it's a big project. But I believe she put this out so that you could do a little bit each month and get it done for 2026 Christmas. And what it is, I think I might have taken the pattern out already so I can show you. Maybe I should be organized when I come on here so that I'm not like flipping around. What am I going to do? I kind of organized myself, but you know what? Most of the time I just kind of wing it, because that's how I am. I get off track, right? So Good Tidings Advent. They also send you the pattern, electric pattern. Is that what they call it? Electric. But let me show you what it is. So it's an Advent calendar type thing. What are the Good Tidings Advent. And oh, by the way, it's by Susan B. Anderson, and she makes all kinds of knitted toys. And these are all the different Advents that are in it. And you make these little cones. Let me show you the pictures. So the cones are like this, And I just thought they were so cute, and my grandchildren would love all these little toys. So I am going to try to fit this in with all the other knit things I would love to do this year. I just have a lot of things I want to knit this year. I really do. And in my mind, I'm getting overwhelmed. I don't know if I can get them done. So I'm going to have to pick and choose. But the only way I'm going to get anything done is if when I pick the project, it becomes monogamous. I can't say that word. But if I don't do it that way, it will never get done. I can't imagine having 12 projects, 13, 14, because I'm adding to them, 15 even, going back and forth and anything getting done. So we have to be a little bit monogamous once we start it. And this is the first monogamous sweater, and I hope to have this done in a few weeks. I'll keep you posted. And then I think what I wanted to start after that, and well, I think starting something, the thing with going forward after that being monogamous, I could kind of steer off a little bit because they're not going to be necessarily for anything in particular. This I really want to bring to Switzerland. The other one I really would like to get done was the Milton, and that's a cardigan. It's very lightweight, and I want to really get the satellite done. So one or two of those is going to be picked up after this is done. As far as socks and mittens and stuff like that, maybe I'll throw something in between a sweater, but I don't know yet. But I would think the goal for me for this year, and if you want to see all the sweaters I did on the 12 cast-ons, you can go back and look at some of my videos. But I definitely think the Milton, the satellite, I don't even know what the other one was. I just told you the Milton, the satellite. I'd like to throw some toys in there. And then I had the Isabel Kramer Aldos. That can wait till the winter a little bit. And also the Paul. Because by the time this is done, you know, we're going to be into the heat of the summer. So in the summer, I like to work on a lot of the little projects. So before the summer comes, I would like to have these 3 completed. So let's see if that can happen. But while being monogamously knitting on this project, I kind of went down the YouTube and Ravelry rabbit hole just for something to be going on in the background. And I did find, and I was thinking of spring. So I was watching this YouTube person, and she does what's hot and what's not, and she's from Australia, and she actually was pretty funny. And so I ended up going on Ravelry and trying to figure out, well, where's she getting this what's hot and what's not? And I did find a section in there that you can find out what's hot now, but it was like 2,000 different patterns. Who's going to look through 2,000 patterns? So what I was looking for is, and I'll link her below because she was really funny and nice to listen to. But what I was looking for was like a short sleeve spring sweater. Not that I'm going to be able to do it this year, but there's a lot of beautiful spring sweaters out there. So I did put some in my queue, and let me show you what I found. So, and this might bring you some inspiration, and you know, you might not be as crazy as me to have all these cast on and just looking for a really nice spring type sweater, and maybe these will inspire you. And this one I found from, you know, my YouTube travels of watching other people, and I think she's called Edible Eats or something like that. I'll put her down below too, but she's got a great podcast. But the Harvest Flower sweater, I fell in love with that. And not that it's a spring sweater, but it has the flowers on it, so it reminds me of spring. So what I'll do is let's put some pictures up. I'm not sure what side yet. It all depends when I'm editing where it looks best. But the first sweater I have in my queue for the florally, springy type sweaters is the Harvest Flower sweater. And that sweater was done in November 2025. The suggested yarn is the Farmer's Daughter's Fibers, Pishkun DK, so a DK, and she uses 8s and 7s US, 5.0 and 4.5 millimeter, and she has 1,082 to 2,136 yards, 969 to 1953 millimeters, and this pattern is $10 US, $10, and the designer is Jessie Mead Designs. Here we go. We got to see Jessie Maid, MAED Designs. So that was my first in the queue. I like this, and I also think I might have some stash for this, but these are all going to be future projects. I haven't even bought the patterns. They're just going to be in queue. And the next one I found was this beautiful, and just reminded me of spring, mohair granny square scarf, because I had bought in Vogue Knitting a bunch of mohair. So I have a few different choices I want to do for that. It might not be this scarf, but I do have it in my queue. And this scarf was published in Simply Crochet issue 126, August 2022. And it says it's like a lace weight yarn. And I don't even know, search patterns. I don't even know if you can buy this pattern. Oh yeah, here you go, 7.99 euros. So you can buy it, Mohair Granny Square Scarf by Fran Morgan. So, and I'm a real amateur at this. I know a lot of people show you designs and everything, and it's all pretty and neat on the sides here, but I'm just kind of winging it right now. But I did find this. I love this for some mohair I have. My spring sweater number 2. Let me know if anyone has done this sweater. I just think it's beautiful. It's published in Siv Kristen Olsen's Ravelry store. It's a pullover, March 24, 2024. Suggested yarn, Katia Ingeniu. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's a worsted to bulky mohair, and they're US 10 to 6 millimeter. The yardage is 1277 to 1837 yards, 1188 to 1680 millimeters. And I just think this is beautiful. It's springy, and I love it, and I put it in my queue. So that's another one I liked. And then I was looking more for some very kind of lightweight, short-sleeved, and I came up with this. I found this Mellow Mood, and it's by Julia Pirro. See, even with the glasses, I have a hard time seeing. Sometimes I can see better without the glasses. Sometimes I need to put them on. But Julia Pirro's Ravelry store. This was from June 24, and it's Sandness Garns line. Garn Studio Drops Bella. It's a DK. And this pattern, and I'm going to try to get the pictures so you can see the detail why I bought this. So it comes in a long sleeve, but it's like this one I'm doing, Never Too Late. It has this beautiful designs on the raglan, and I believe is under the arm as well. Yes, and on the sides. So I just found this beautiful, and it probably caught my eye because it was pink in the first place, but that is also in my queue. And then the next, and I think I was drawn to the pink, and I looked at it closely and I really liked this. Turn Around the Corner. This is by, see, now my eyes start adjusting and I got to see again. Hintermstein, Design von Hintermstein. It's English German sweater cardigan. It looks like it has a lot of garter stitch and stockinette, and it was just beautiful, simple, elegant. It's an Aran weight, and I fell in love with that. Turn Around the Corner doesn't just mean that this jacket can be turned inside out and worn on both sides. It also means that things are taking a turn for the better. So I loved that one, and that's in my queue. And what else do we have here? I've always wanted to do a vest, but I'm not petite. I'm very broad-shouldered, and I don't know. I just have this thing that I'm not a vest person. It's not going to look good on me, but I love it on other people. So I did put a few vests in here, and let's see how they. If I ever do a vest, I liked this. It was by Petite Knit Stockholm Slipover. November 2019, so this is an oldie but goodie. Lace fingering worsted, that's what it says for the yarn weight. Suggested yarn is the Isgar yarn Tweeny? Tavini, Isgar yarn tweed, Sandnesgarn Petite Knit Sunday. So it's a beautiful vest. It looked nice and airy. Maybe if I lost a few pounds, I might like how it looks better on me. But I did put it in my queue for maybe someday. And the next, we have Never Too Late. That's in my queue. And another new on Ravelry I wanted to mention, and this woman is in my knit group as well. Jennifer Walsh is the designer, and it's called Love in the Garden Sweater. And this is brand new on Ravelry, and that's Jennifer, and it's really a pretty sweater. It's not spring, but I felt like I should bring it on and show you. And you can take a look at all her stuff, and she just published this. And this is, March 2026, suggested yarns. Some things I can read, some things I can't. Manos del Uruguay Feliz. Sport, 26 stitches and 32 rows equal 4 inches. Needles, US 1, US 2, US 3. Yardage is 1361 to 2276 yards. 1244 to 2081 meters. It's in English. And the Love in the Garden sweater is inspired by the beauty in the garden year-round and the love in our hearts. It's a circular yoke design work from the bottom up and color work on the cuff, hem, and yoke. The yoke is finished with an I-cord bind-off worked in the contrasting color. So that's a really pretty sweater for maybe later in the year. Like I said, I can't stray away from my cast-ons. I did put Alpine Bloom in there, and if you're a big knitter, I'm sure you've seen this one before, but it was in the What's Hot Now out of the 2000 sweaters. It popped up, and I've always liked it by Caitlin Hunter, so I did put it in my queue. Let me tell you. So it's a fingering weight in US 3s, US 4s. Boylan Knitworks, it's published in by Caitlin Hunter. Fingering, I told you that. 24 stitches and 32 rows equals 4 inches. The yardage is 913 to 1723 yards, or 835 to 1576 millimeters. So that is in my queue. What else do I have here? Oh, so that's it. I went down that little rabbit hole and just wanted to get some spring inspiration. Like I said, the weather here has been dreary and cold and rainy and snowy, and I just haven't even wanted to really get online and do videos until I had something substantial knit up, um, until I was like feeling good. I mean, I don't have seasonal depression or anything like that, but I just was blah from the weather, and I think the grandchildren were sick here and there, and then we had birthday parties, and life just got in the way. But that is what is happening in Nana's world right now. She is monogamously knitting the Never Too Late sweater to have for Switzerland. She bought some more yarn to do the crocheted cardigan out of Noro, and she was tempted and bought the Good Tidings Advent to start and hopefully get done this year. And other than that, I've just been looking online and looking at things while I've been knitting. So that's it. So, what's on your needles? What are you knitting? And I hope you're looking forward to spring as much as I am, because when you're in New England, all you have to do, if you don't like the weather here, is just wait a few days and it will change. Next week, we're looking at being in the 60s, and the couple of feet of snow I have out on my patio will hopefully be melted down, and hopefully we will just see some flowers starting to poke up. But if you looked outside right now and saw my patio, and maybe I'll take a few pictures, it just seems like the snow is never going to melt. Never. But never say never. It will, and spring will be here, and it will be beautiful. So until next time, happy knitting, happy crochet, maybe a little weaving. And if you've been watching me for a while, yes, I brought the weaving on last video, but it's just been sitting here because I've been monogamously knitting. So I have not got to any of the weaving, but I actually did buy a book on weaving. Did I bring it down here? No, we'll save that for another time, because I have been looking into weaving and different things I can do with the loom. So those are other videos, and we'll talk about those later. But until next time, stay well, stay happy, stay knitting. Goodbye.